Hello everyone, and welcome back to another chapter of Maizon at Blue Hill. We are in chapter 7. Chapter 6 was all about Mason making it to Blue Hill, the boarding school that she will be attending this year. And so now she's getting ready to meet some of the young ladies that are at the school. So let's get started. Marie, Sheila, Mason sing. Charlie held out her hand and bowed in my direction. Hi, Marie and Sheila said in unison. We were sitting side by side on a narrow bed, looking through a photo album that seemed to be filled with pictures of one boy. I pushed a pile of clothes out of the way and sat on the bed across from them. Halfway empty suitcases cluttered the floor, but framed pictures of the boy in the photo album were hung neatly on the wall behind the bed. I'm Marie, the tall girl said, looking me up and down in a way that made me feel like I was dressed wrong. I ran my fingers through my hair and said nothing. And this is Cleo, Marie's boyfriend, Charlie smirked, gesturing towards the photographs on the wall. And that's Cleo, she said again, pointing towards the photo album that Marie and Sheila were drooling over. Expect to see a lot of him. Well, a lot of pictures. A college man. He is so utterly fine, Marie, Sheila said, turning her eyes away from the photo album to glance at me. Hi, Maizon. She turned the page of the photo album. More bright pictures of Cleo jumped off the black pages. He was cute, I guess, with a big smile and stuffed cheeks like a squirrel. Wow, what a body, Sheila giggled, pointing at a picture of Cleo in his bathing trunks. He was a little on the thin side to me, with tiny muscles moving down his arm and long, skinny legs. We've been going out 3 months now, Marie said. I think I'm in love. The three of them squealed and giggled, reminding me of little Jay. I rolled my eyes. Boys bored the heck out of me. Well, Charlie announced, Peter and I have been seeing each other 8 months. Peter's S-T-A-L-E, Charlie. He is so boring. Sheila's eyes lit up when she said this. She looked over at me and winked. At least I have a boyfriend to call my own. You don't have a boyfriend, Sheila teased. You have a pet. They all laughed and cooed over a few more pictures of Cleo. Then Marie shut the book and turned to me. I'm a junior, she announced. So's Charlie. But I guess she's already told you that. I'm a sophomore, Sheila said. 3 more years in this place. And you just got here, Mason, Charlie said, bouncing down next to me. She had more energy than Lil J. Buckle your seatbelt, girlfriend, 'cause you in for one heck of a ride. Charlie, you're slipping, Marie said, frowning. Oh, chill out, Marie. Charlie waved her hand and lay back on the bed. We're among our own. The room was smaller than I expected, with dark wood twin burrows at the head of the beds. Heavy gray curtains hung at the windows. The floor had been tiled in gray and white, with the white tiles matching the walls. I looked at the pink and gray throw rugs at the floor on each bed. We brought those from home, said Marie, to give this place some color. So you're from Brooklyn? Sheila asked, folding her hands in her lap. I didn't like the way she said it, like Brooklyn was a place at the end of the map that no one in their right mind would ever go to. I nodded. I've never been there, she continued. My family travels to New York, though, and my dad has a cousin or an uncle or something that used to or still lives in Brooklyn. It's bad there. It's bad there, isn't it? Marie asked. Lots of killing and stuff. New York is bad, Sheila piped in. Don't you read the papers? They're only written on a 3rd grade level. Actually, I said, the New York Times is written at a 7th grade level. Most of the tabloids are written below that. The Times is more informative. No comics, though. The room felt silent. I raised my foot up to the edge of the bed and was playing with a penny in one of my loafers, turning it from head to tail, then back again. When I looked up, all three of them were staring at me. Marie studied her hands. Her fingers were long, the color of the dark toast, and she polished her nails pale pink. I'm from California, she said. Santa Cruz, halfway around the world. Have you ever been there? Her voice was soft and even. It scared me. I shook my head. Ever been to California? She asked. Sheila and Charlie were silent. I looked at Charlie. I couldn't tell if her eyes were open or not behind the shades. Sheila's hair was in a million tiny braids that hung down on her shoulder. She pulled one over her eyes and started unbraiding it. I shook my head. Never been outside New York. This is my first time. None of us is on scholarship, Maizon, Marie continued. I shrugged. So, what's that supposed to mean? Oh, ew. Sheila squealed. This girl's got attitude. I like that. I don't have attitude, I said casually. I just don't want anybody in my face telling me what they are and aren't. I just thought I'd inform you, Marie said, just so you don't think all the blacks here are broke. I rolled my eyes at Marie. My family's not broke. This is an academic scholarship. Whatever, Marie said, sounding bored. She brushed something from her lap, and for a moment I got the eerie feeling she was trying to brush me off. Sheila grunted, still working the braid. I wished I was on scholarship. This school is stupid expensive. Sheila, oh, give it a break, Marie. It's just us. It's just us now. But what happens when we let it go, forgetting who is around us? Let what go? I asked. Out past Marie's and Sheila's head, I could see the blue hill. The sun was sinking bright orange behind it. A group of girls were fooling around at the top. Marie's going to major in language. She has to stay on her toes, Charlie said. Marie nodded. I'm interested in different ways people have of speaking around each other. I'm either going to Harvard, Yale, or Brown. Oh, I said. Those are good schools. I still don't like Marie, but I wanted to show her that I knew about colleges. So are Morehouse, Spelman, and Howard, Charlie said. They're not Ivy League, though, Marie said. They're Black League, girl. Charlie raised herself up on the elbows. Black schools for black people. Get your education and culture. Charlie snapped her fingers under one roof. Marie sucked her teeth and walked over to the window. She looked as though she could be about 6 feet tall. Her Levi's were tapered super straight, the way I tried to get Grandma to make mine. But she had insisted my feet wouldn't be able to get through the bottom if she had made them any straighter than they were. Marie was wearing a white turtleneck t-shirt. I pulled my t-shirt away from my chest, feeling a little flat-chested. This is the same tired old argument. Tired old argument? You're slipping, Marie. Sheila and Charlie slapped palms, laughing. Marie thinks we shouldn't use the tired old language of black folks, and should speak, what's the word, Marie? Correctly. I think the way we speak says a lot about who we are, Marie said, turning her back to the window and folding her arms. People judge you by it. But is that who we are? Charlie said, raising her shades. You better take some course in history of language, girl, before you start working to change it. Sheila nodded. I wasn't sure I understood what they were talking about. Miss Dale spoke differently from Margaret and me. So did Hattie. And Grandma and Miss Dale spoke differently when they were together. Then Grandma was speaking to Miss Parson. What do you think, Maizon? Charlie asked. Someone giggled in the hallway. I pulled my knees up to my chin and stared out past Marie. I like the sun in Connecticut. It seemed cleaner than Brooklyn's sun. Language is fluid, I said softly. It changes. I mean, the way we speak, the way black people speak changes. I don't think one way is right or the other way is wrong, as long as you can get your point across. Marie sucked her teeth and turned back to the window. She looked at me and shrugged. You have a lot to learn, Mason, Marie said. Then I'll learn it, I said, feeling a little less afraid of her. I'll learn everything. Charlie giggled and lay back on the bed. You two sure are slobs. Look at this room. We're unpacking, Chuck, Sheila said. She rose and began putting underwear and socks into her bureau. Marie continued to stare out the window silent. I'm from Detroit, Mason, Charlie said. Doctor's daughter. You're from Southfield, Charlie. Southfield, Michigan is a bit of a cry from Detroit. It's a car ride away. Exactly, Sheila laughed. A car ride, which means you don't have to get on a bus like the people in Detroit to get there. Her family, Charlie said to me, pointing to Sheila, is one of the 2 black families in Cherryville. You know where that is, don't you? I nodded. Cherryville is a rich suburb of New York. And because of it, Sheila said, I'm headed straight for Spelman, the bestest, blackest college on the map. You have it. You can have your Harvard and your Yales. I can't believe you're going to waste a straight A average on Spelman, Marie said. And I can't believe you're going to waste your melanin on Ivy League, Sheila retorted, folding a bra and placing it in the top drawer. I listened to them bicker like the ways their voice moved through all their quiet. I felt hungry for something. It wasn't food. I didn't know what it was, but knew it had something to do with their arguing and laughing and snapping fingers, and something to do with the way the sun was setting outside the window, and even a little bit to do with Bruce Springsteen down the hall shouting that he was born in the USA. So, that's the end of chapter 7. Mason has had an opportunity to meet the young ladies, the 3 young ladies, Charlie, Marie, and Sheila. Marie is somewhat of a, I guess we would say, snob or arrogant, because she's rich and she knows her family has money. And so she wants to stay in that environment when she goes to college, being rich and being among the rich and the arrogant. Sheila and Charlie, they are all about their culture. They want to embrace it. They want to be a part of it, and they're excited about it. But there's some underlying things that are going on, like Maizon said at the end, and she's looking forward to learning a lot about Blue Hill, the boarding school, and the other people that are at the college. And just watching her or listening to her, she loves the air and the environment that she sees outside in Connecticut. So I look forward to learning a little bit more about Blue Hill School, boarding school, and all that it has to offer Mason. I think she's going to do really well there. Well, thank you for listening, and I look forward to another reading of Maizon at Blue Hill, Chapter 8.